Experts from the National Bureau of Plant Genetic Resources under the Indian Council of Agricultural Research (ICAR) discovered the area of Tura Range in the Meghalaya Plateau way back in 1977 to 78 with large variety of wild relatives of cultivated plants of citrus fruits for the establishment of a biosphere reserve. As per the Garo customary laws, the land in this area is owned by communities through traditional head called Nogmas. The government of Meghalaya by a notification dated 29 November 1986 declared its intention to acquire about 4,748 hectares land along the ridge of the Tura Range from 20 A. King Nogmas to establish the Nokrek National Park. The Ministry of Environment and Forest, Government of India on 1 September 1987 designated Nokrek National Park with 168 surrounding villages located in the tri-junction of East, West and South Garo Hill districts as Biosphere Reserve. 23 of these villages with an area of about 228 square kilometers constitute buffer zone of the Nokrek Biosphere Reserve, commonly known as NBR, while 145 villages with an area of about 544 square kilometers constitute transition zone of the NBR. The NBR is one of the 18 biosphere reserves in India with a total area of 820 square kilometers. On completion of the land acquisition proceedings, the government of Meghalaya issued a final notification on 23 December 1997 for establishment of the Nokrek National Park. Keeping in view the presence of plants and animals of unusual scientific and natural interest, on 26 September 2009, the UNESCO included the NBR as one of the 11 biosphere reserves in the country under the framework of their Man and Biosphere Program, or UNESCO's World Network of Biosphere Reserves. The Nokrek Biosphere Reserve is a rich gene pool of citrus species. Citrus indica tanaka, wild orange, believed to be the most primitive and perhaps the progenitor of the citrus plants, is naturally found in the NBR. Apart from several other species of wild animals and birds, some worthy of mentions are elephant, gar, Himalayan black bear, Burmese ferret badger, Chinese ferret badger, capped langur, otter, barking deer, etc. The NBR is home to a large population of the western hulak gibbon, the only species of ape found in India. The NBR and its surrounding areas reverberate with calls of the hulak gibbons. The NBR is a catchment of several rivers and streams, including those providing drinking water to Tura, Williamnagar, Bagmara, and other major towns in the Garo Hills. Many important rivers such as Simsang, Ganol, Dareng, Nitai, and Bugi originate from the NBR. Apart from the future of the cultivation of citrus fruits in the world, future of the entire Garo Hills is intricately linked to the health of the NBR. For centuries, tribal residents of the NBR were dependent on the slash and burn cultivation. In the past, Enough time was available for rejuvenation and restocking of forest between two successive June cycles. However, with the fast increase in human population, the June cycle in the area has drastically reduced to as low as 3 to 5 years. Hence, the time to rejuvenate and regenerate lessened, resulting in their qualitative and quantitative degradation. In several areas in the NBR, natural forests are being replaced by cash crops such as tea, coffee, areca nut, cashew, and rubber. Degradation of forest in the catchment is resulting in heavy soil erosion and extinction of several species of wild flora and fauna. It is also causing unfavorable change in the hydrological regime manifested by drying up of perennial streams, water scarcity during the dry season, and flash floods during the monsoon months. It is therefore an urgent need to promote ecologically prudent, environmentally sustainable, and financially remunerative livelihood options in the Nokrek Biosphere Reserve to achieve the twin objectives to save and conserve rich biodiversity and also to enhance and improve living standard of the tribal residents of the NBR. The Nokrek Biosphere Reserve is an ideal place to promote organic farming, as such efforts are needed to ban use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides in the NBR. Discourage and prohibit replacement of natural forest by monoculture plantation of cash crops. The Forest and Environment Department, under a centrally sponsored scheme of conservation of natural resources and ecosystems, initiated measures to promote sustainable livelihood. The department also provides assistance for promotion of apiculture, mushroom cultivation, handloom, cardamom cultivation, and permanent wet paddy cultivation. The department also created some infrastructure such as visitors' trails, tourist viewpoints, and rain shelters to promote ecotourism in the NBR. Due to limited availability of funds, the scale of activities undertaken by the Forest and Environment Department in the NBR is too low. The department is therefore making efforts to upskill activities undertaken in the NBR for promotion of ecologically prudent, environmentally sustainable, and financially more remunerative livelihood practices by convergence of programs undertaken by various departments and agencies. With the support and cooperation of all concerned, the department hopes to ensure long-term conservation of the rich biodiversity of the Nokrek Biosphere Reserve.